Whoa! It's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash building series. Starting a series when the first thing I said this year was not to start a series. But I've had a wave of motivation, okay? You can't blame me. I heard this banger song on Newgrounds and all I want to do is make an effect layout. Oh, this is going to be a cool series. It's the 1st of February as of today. I want to try and finish it before February ends, so there's probably going to be quite a few consistent uploads of this. Maybe every Wednesday can be a thing. I'm going to start things off with a really simple little burst of gameplay before we go into 2x speed and we have a little descent real quick as we get used to the effect that's about to come on screen. I'm going to place all of my blocks in first, then make the block transition effect that I want to make. This is going to be kind of interesting for me because I barely ever experiment with movements of blocks themselves. Some of the effect layout is probably going to be background focused and some of it's going to be block focused. Just trying to make something funky that will be pretty easily sight readable too, because this might get a bit out of hand very quickly. I'm going to switch to a mini and go for some tunnel style gameplay right now with some pads like so. Maybe a scaled up blue orb too. We're going to use a J block around this orb just to make sure that you can't jump on the block after you hit this orb. Just makes the gameplay nice because I can now hold for as long as I want and that blue orb will work the way I want it to. Just repeating this tunnel idea with different gravities and pads on the end just to make it feel a bit more like a concept and not just something silly that I threw in. It's going to be like the whole vibe of this part. And now it's time for the thumbnail part. I mean the wave part. I can't believe I'd misspeak like that. In fact, instead of those D blocks, I am just going to lock a D block right here while we can't jump, because why not? We'll just put this on group number 2, not 1, because I like to reserve 1 for a nice little alpha trigger over on the side that makes anything on group 1 invisible. So let's set up our move trigger for number 2, which is going to lock to the X-axis for around 10 seconds. Nothing too long. That didn't work. It needs to be on the X and the Y, my mistake. And this is going to allow us to slide. Yep, okay. So now we can have corridors like this, which are going to be pretty much unreadable once everything's moving, but still. Okay, nice and simple. I know my blocks are kind of messy because some of them are upside down, but they're going to be invisible anyway, so it doesn't really matter what they look like, at least for the layout process. Okay, let's do another one of these little J block things into a sliding passage with another one of these orb tricks. There's a slight gap here in the song. Not too sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. I might just put a black orb in here just for the gameplay sync, but I don't know what I'm going to do effect-wise. Might just see if I can sneak in a little wall of these slow speed triggers. We can probably get rid of that edge. And then right on this line, we need another speed portal. Okay, I have to get mini space in for this one. Invisible again. And then we'll just put a temporary placeholder portal to end the part. So let's just take a look at this in normal mode. We've got 16 seconds of mostly mini gameplay. Wow, it doesn't even work. Awkward. We can just half space that down and also move the portal up a bit to center the blocks as we fall in. Just like set the camera up there. Pretty much perfect. Okay, cool. Let's just make sure this plays normally. I don't think it's fully structured yet. Gonna do that before anything else, but I just want to make sure we have a good base right here. This works pretty well. And then we have a little mini cube. Speed up, slow down, cool, it works. It can do with some movement, but right now I'm just going around and adding in a few spikes here and there just to make the level feel a bit more whole. I'm just gonna let the level making process speak for itself and not really reveal what the effect is gonna be here. But it is gonna be kind of like a warm-up to the level, you know, nothing too crazy. Okay, just spacing some objects more nicely too. I like this wave structure. I'm obviously gonna block it off, but that's not my priority for now. That's gonna look so sick when it's all together. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to get started with my movements here. I would have started them already if it wasn't for the fact that it's easier to just do all this first. The copy pasting process is gonna be fire. Never get gassed up by some structuring, because I know I do. We can leave that pretty open, I'd say. Oh boy, now it's time. We have to go to a new editor layer. We have to set up a color channel for black first and foremost. We are going to place a regular piece of glow and a thick piece of glow on color channel number 1, just like this. It's gonna be B2 and I think 1. Don't fade and don't enter, so there's no block transitions on these. Then, for the outlines, we're going to use 3D lines, space it up to the opposite edge so it matches the actual line in game, like this. Flip it round, move it to the bottom side, and then just flip it round. And there we have, on B2 and number 2, our outline. So we have a fake block. These look identical, right? So let's link this block together. Alright, let's get to moving these. We're going to have this block on group number 3, which is going to be offset way up in the sky, around about 120 on the Y with 0 move time. Then we are going to place a little movement for 3, which is going to be exponential out. We'll keep the 0.5 movement down I'm gonna say 50 past 120. So it gets moved up 120 from here, but goes down 170. So it would be here, 5 blocks underneath its intended position. Then we're gonna have a movement of 100, 5 blocks later, and then 5 blocks later we're gonna have a movement of minus 50. So it goes into place, and we are going to align that duration line right as we get to that block. So if I can just zoom out and play through the level, we should see this block kind of wiggle into position. And I'm going to bunch these up a little bit more just so I can use this movement a bit closer. I want this to transition a bit closer to me. Yeah, you see down there? It works pretty nicely. We can have another one of these movements right after on minus 120. We'll say for 1 second. And then we have to set it up so this movement is repeated 0 seconds, just so we can reuse 3 in a later part without needing to offset it. Like we could just add this into this whole move trigger linkage, like this whole 6 trigger package. I can't count. So right after this whole sequence is done, we can then reuse 3 later after this trigger is used. I don't know. It's just like a built-in reusability feature. So let's link these triggers together so we can be like boom, bop, bop, boom. Because I know there's going to be instances like right here, for example, where I would need to use both of them. But only one set of triggers to save myself a bunch of effort. Okay, moving these triggers out of the way. And we can just copy paste and build helper for every single set, and you'll see up here that the triggers are automatically being allocated to new groups. We have group 5 here. This is just really nice and useful for me to build a bunch of this level. And then once I've done a bit, I might be like, oh yeah, I need to extend these down. And then we have a block down here that's kind of missing some, right? So that's when we take this block and we take the last set of triggers and then we move them back into place. So we have a whole set here. It's got to work nicely and fill in all the gaps. Then we have to look at what groups each block is. So that's number 7. We're going to take number 7 here, give it to the spike. What's this? Okay, that's number 8. We give the spike number 8. I made fake blocks because sometimes the momentum can be kind of crazy. But for spikes, I don't think it should be an issue. So I'm down to just use the regular ones and not make fake ones. All right, so let's just say that this set of objects are completely invisible now. Do they work in the level? Here we go. We're giving it a test. It's probably not going to be sight readable, but there we go. We have a bunch of moving objects. We got to add this pad to it too. Yeah, okay. Hard to read, but I love it like that. Take a lot of effort to get this right, especially with the extra pieces of each block. But as long as I'm patient and make sure I'm selecting all of the triggers while I'm selecting blocks, I should be fine. I think what I'm going to do is cover every single individual block and then go back around afterwards to cover blocks like these that don't really have anything. Then it's just a case of, all right, copy paste from bottom to top. We missed this object too. The spikes are going to be a pain, I have to say, but it'll be worth it, I'm sure. Was I serious with half spacing that spike block? Like, are you actually kidding me? I have to go and make another set just for this tiny little space in between. This one here. God. We're gonna eat up objects with this for sure. Gonna eat up groups, but that shouldn't matter because we can reuse those. A used object is a used object, and there's nothing that can be done about that at all. Oh, it's just so nice that I can just copy paste those and this one down. Like, the blocks are so easy to make. It's just having to go on a different layer for spikes. It's like, ugh. So once I play after a while, I should be able to go back and take a look and pausing. And the blocks should all be there. Yeah, look at that. They've all moved back and I can reuse them. Sick. Oh boy. The wave is so heavily structured. This is going to take a while. Building an effect layout and just being able to copy paste and chill out with, I don't know, Spotify on in the background like I have. It's very freeing, I would say. Because I know that as soon as I finish this block process and then get the spikes all on them, that's me done with a part of this level. Like, I have very small goals and I can accomplish them really easily. It's good for the creating mindset to just, I don't know, breathe new air with a new level and just see the results immediately. It's also like a little puzzle, just going along here trying to figure out which blocks are actually new blocks and not ones that I can just like copy paste downwards. Well, we hit group 100. That might be speedrun world record. Not really sure on that one, but for this wave, we have almost used a new block every single block in the grid, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but man, that is eating. We're at 2k objects almost. I want to do this now. I really do. Look, dude. Oh, almost caught myself wanting to copy paste that to the side. That would ruin. I almost just did it again. What am I doing? I can only copy paste vertically. Remember that. It's so satisfying. This is like a coloring in book. Like, why is this so nice for the brain? It's geometry dash copy paste. Like, it's not that good. But it just is, though. Also, we don't have to think about these triggers once they've been used. That's cool. I'm glad I rounded that off very early with the reusage. I can see the end. That's the final block. Oh, just you wait until I have to put the spikes in, though. Kind of dreading that, can't lie. But it's fine. Look at the speed these blocks are getting done. Imagine you could do a normal block design this quickly. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. What did I just do? I did copy paste to the side. I caught myself. I'm gonna have to do some thorough testing just to make sure everything is normal. Okay, boom. So now we can select all of the regular blocks in this level using a little thing called select filter that you can find in the pause menu and combining it with the custom delete button in order to actually tell it what to select only. Let's just make all of this number 1 invisible. Not deleting it because then we'll have no actual hitboxes. What we're doing is just making the actual block stay here while the rest of the level moves. Look at it! Look at it go! Look at it go! Okay. We'll try it in normal mode. Might keep hitboxes on just so I can see what the heck I'm doing for now. Just while I learn the layout, because this is going to be partly memory. Oh my, that's so cool. The easiest way to test it is to just run through the whole thing, then pause and just look at it. Hitboxes on. It looks like we've got every block in the right place by now. So, it's just time to attach the spikes. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I just select the block and then I go to it. Nice. Okay, this is the strat for sure. Starting rightmost or even leftmost and going to the right. But the thing is, I can just backpedal on the arrows and not have to type a number or figure out what the direction is that I'm going. I know I'm always going left here. Okay, I'll tell you what. This actually isn't that big of a deal. Gonna have this done well before tea time and before this King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album finishes. Thank you, WavePart, for the free thumbnail, but I'm not looking forward to beating you in normal mode. And your spike adding process was pretty long compared to the rest, I have to say. We're just pedaling all the way back, starting to lose my focus on the English language a little bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna speed hack this because I really want to check that everything's working properly. I don't really care how playable it is, even though it is a layout, that's kind of the point, but I'm gonna be a savage here and just focus on the actual looks of it all, because I'm more concerned about the block effects than the actual playability of the level. Yeah, this is looking like it's gonna be pretty strong. I think I missed a pad back there, but I can't really tell. This wave part is nuts. Thank you for the free thumbnail. And then the ending should just be pretty simple. Oh, that's a timing that you can't really see. That's kind of evil having the block down there, but it's okay. Okay, all done. Just need to do orbs now. This blue orb is going to be an example, number 138. I'm going to go to editor layer number 2. We're going to do the exact same thing as before. We're going to add a move trigger that moves it all the way to the right, like 200, something ridiculous. And then we're going to set up a couple of movements here. I'm going to try and make this one a little bit more simple because it's, I don't know, it's just an orb, innit? It's not that crazy. We'll just align a 1 second movement either side of the orb, and then obviously reset this afterwards so we can reuse that group. So then we just group every orb in order, making sure we don't miss anything. So yeah, the intended difficulty, I will state this for the video since I usually get asked this when I make layout videos. It's probably going to be easy, medium, demon. I will upload this on my main account. Pretty much all you can really ask for, I think. Appreciate you guys sticking it. Oh, we should probably move those last, just so I can properly align these. The trigger is just going on the block after. This trigger that my mouse is on is just going on the block after they exist. So right here again, build helper. This one is gonna have to be half spaced. Oh, nearly missed that. Appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you're hyped to play this level. Did I press build? I'm pressing build helper. I'm pressing build helper. We're going back, guys. My bad, my bad. Absolutely terrible behavior from me. We use the next arrow. We don't use build helper. These groups are already assigned. If I was copy pasting the orb with them, that would be a different story, but we're not. So it's just regular old copy paste. Nice free wave part. Thank you very much for the thumbnail and the easy building experience. The number in my edit group tab. Hold on a minute. I have a bad feeling. I have a really bad. How have I missed 2 orbs? Like, what did I miss out? That's 140. I did this one, didn't I? Did I not? I did. So what am I missing? Oh, I've had an absolute stinker. Oh God, this has been very eye-opening. But how stupid I actually am. I didn't know I was this stupid, dude. All right, now we're on track. Now we're on track. Wait, no way. Oh, this one here, this one here. Phew. I thought I fumbled it again. This is 148. This is 148. Why am I confusing myself so badly here? This doesn't have a group, right? I'm using that for the next part. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Now it's just portals. So 151. We're gonna go right to left because I'm silly. 153. Actually, I don't miss any portals, right? So we go back through. We copy this movement because it matches the orb that's literally right inside the portal. Like, come on. Then we need to change these two numbers to positive 200 and these two down to minus 200 and get rid of those. And we're good to go. Just gonna turn on link controls once again. 155 and 156. Let's just put all of these up. I'm gonna say, no, we're gonna go below the level just because there's more space here. And this should be literally everything in the level. I'm pretty sure. Come on now. Can I beat it in normal mode? Oh boy. Oh. Why is it sick? It's actually good. Okay. I'm rocking with it. Woo! Woo! First try, please. If you don't subscribe right now, oh my lord. You know how insane that was? You know how insane that was? That deserves a like. If you aren't gassed for the next episodes, I don't know what to say to you. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for watching this effect layout video. See you next Wednesday if you decide to stick around. If not, that's all good. Thank you for watching though. Check the links in the description. Leave a like and subscribe and have a good day.